Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome into the blue English full set breakdown for Rurouni Kenshin. We've got two really dope decks to dive into here. The first deck's going to be based around Kenshin and Seijuro. It's going to be a really dope deck. This card looks like a monster. An 8k on your turn, damage 2 when played. Put an event card from your sideline back into hand. Definitely going to play out some really cool plays with this guy. He's a 7 cost though, so you got to ramp up to him, but you do got this Kenshin who's going to be helping him along the way with some double attack, extra pressure, draw power as well, because, you know, it's blue, so we're drawing. So yeah, really cool deck there, just playing off of these two mainly, these two raid cards. And then the other blue deck is going to have this really cool theme based around, his name is Aoshi, I believe. And essentially what he's doing, I haven't seen the anime, but it seems like he's creating clones of himself or just moving so fast or something that he's got multiple versions of him attacking. You can get a good example of what the card's doing here off of movement of flowing water. But yeah, you can get some really cool plays in with this deck here. It'll make more sense once we start diving into it. But yeah, you can essentially play free bodies out of your sideline, which allows you to get raids off more consistently. And one of the biggest things that we should start off this whole breakdown with is this brand new 0 cost type of card that we've got. So we should have had this in every color, but the red Kenshin set did get this version cut. But yeah, the purple and the blue sets do have this type of card where they're going to be a 2 cost, but if you have no cards on your field, the required energy of this is reduced by 2, making it a 0 cost. And this when played ability is great for a 0 cost. Look at the top cards of your deck, place up to 1 of them into your sideline, place the remaining cards of them into your deck in any order, and draw a trigger as well. So yeah, this is going to help with bricking, help with not having to run so many zeros, and having a 0 that deck filters like that is so good. And with this affinity here, it is going to go more in the Aoshi deck, but you could definitely splash this into the other deck if you wanted to run less zeros. So yeah, really new, cool type of card that we're going to probably see in future sets more consistently, 1 in every color. But yeah, let's go ahead and start off the Seijuro deck here. 7 cost, 1 action point raid. This guy looks like a monster. So he's a damage 2. This character also cannot be blocked by a character with 2k or less. So if there's a way to reduce BP in this, which I don't know if that's necessarily what this deck's doing at all. Let's see, during your turn, this character gains 3,000 BP, so he's going to be an 8k attacker. When played, you also get to add any event card from your sideline into your hand. Insane. So you can bring back a special or a final with him, or other event cards if you want. And then active main, once per turn, you get to choose another character on your field, and it'll gain 1,000 BP till the end of the turn with the Raid from Life trigger. And there's quite a few good double energy generators in here to hopefully help you get to 7 pretty fast, and also hopefully to the point where you can even raid him out of your life potentially, because there's no reason not to with a monster like this. But yeah, 5k printed, 8k attacker is so wild. And then we've got this 4 cost Seijuro card. During your turn, if you've used a Kuzu Ryuzen, I think maybe, or a Will to Live card this turn, your special or your final, this card's going to gain impact. He's also got the active trigger, which is great if you get it out of life, 4k BP, so he can be a 4k impactor just on the turn that you're playing event cards for whatever reason. Great game ender, or even just a raid target if you need him. We've also got our generic 0 cost Seijuro. When played, choose up to 1 Kenshin card on your field. It'll gain 1,000 BP till the end of the turn, with a draw trigger 1,500, not bad at all. And then diving over here real quick to the starter deck exclusive cards, you're going to have 1 for the Aoshi deck and then 1 for the Seijuro deck. And I think these cards are both 4-ofs, honestly. I think you're going to want a 4-of of both of these, almost no question. 3 cost Seijuro here. This card cannot be played onto your front line and can only be moved to your front line using its ability. So I don't even think other abilities can pull him forward. I think it has to be this card's ability. When played, look at the top 2 cards of your deck. Place any number on the top in any order. Place the remaining into your sideline. And then in active main, place 2 cards from your hand into the sideline once per turn. You can only activate this ability if Kenshin is on your field. Move this card to the other line. And he's a 4k double energy generator, active trigger. Obviously you can raid on top of him if you need. This guy looks awesome, and I love like this active main ability, the trash 2. Hopefully you got cards in hand to do this, but not a terrible way to get a card onto your front line after having them on your energy line to help you generate what you need, you know, if you're trying to get to 7 or whatever. So fantastic card. Again, this one is a starter deck exclusive. You get 1 per starter deck in those promo packs. And then the other big raid card that you're probably going to want to run in the Seijuro deck here is this 5-cost Kenshin. If this card has 6k BP, it gains double attack, so you basically need to get him up 2k from 4. And then active main once per turn. You can only activate this ability if you've used a Will to Live card this turn, your final. This character gains 1000 BP until the end of the turn, so he does have a way to buff himself up 1k. So yeah, honestly, you could just raid him out, raid out your 7-cost, use a final, and now he's a 6k with the other character's active main. And then when attacking, if you have 3 or less cards in your hand, draw a card. Amazing, considering it's a double attacker too, so if you are getting really low on cards, he can refill your hand with 2 cards. And then he's got a raid trigger, of course. You can raid him from life. Again, a card that you pretty much might as well do it if there's no reason not to. You're not losing any effects necessarily. So yeah, great looking raid Kenshin here, and he's a 5-cost, so in a deck where we're trying to ramp to 7, he should be pretty easy to play. On top of that, our color trigger for the deck is going to be a 3-cost Kenshin. Active main, if on the energy line once per turn, you get to place 1 Will to Live card from your sideline to the bottom of your deck. If you do, move this character to the front line and give it 1k till the end of the turn, making him a 3 from a 3 to a 4k. Double energy generator as well, so this card is just a monster color trigger. But yeah, really cool that we've got these double energy generators that'll chill on our energy line, give us the energy we need, and then at any point we have the option to hopefully push them up and swing for 4k. Definitely a great mechanic to have access to. And then 1-cost Kenshin, nullify impact when played. Look at the top 2 cards of your deck, place any number of them on the top of your deck in any order, and then the remaining into your sideline. No trigger, 2k, but again, great deck filtering for a 1-cost raid target. This guy looks fantastic. And then we do also have this 0-cost Shinta card. This card is also treated as Kenshin Himura. He does have the active trigger, 2k, so if you're looking for more raid targets, definitely a great option. And then we've got a really nice looking sight card here, 3-cost Training. When played, you get to look at the top 3 cards of your deck, reveal up to 1 Seijuro or Kenshin among them, and add it to your hand. Place the remaining cards on the bottom of your deck in any order. If you added a card with 4 or more energy to your hand, trash a card. With the add to hand trigger, double energy generation, this card looks awesome. And on top of that, it's a when played free search for a 3 or less. So basically, as long as it's not like our raids, we pretty much get it without having to trash a card, right? Maybe this 4-cost Seijuro. Really, really, really nice looking field card with that double energy generation. That is so nice. Here is Will to Live, our final. There's quite a few effects that play into this. And then our special for the deck here, 5-cost Kuzuryuzen. I hope that's somewhat close. Choose 1 character with 3k or less on your opponent's front line and sideline it. If Seijuro's on your field, 5k instead. And you get to choose a Kenshin on your field and give it 1k till the end of the turn. So if you don't have a Will to Live card to play to give him this 1k, but you do have the special, and then of course you still have this guy's raid, you can still find a way to get Kenshin up to 6k. Or you could even do it without the raid. Like, there's multiple ways to get Kenshin up 2k by just playing other cards. On top of that, we've also got this event card that is probably going to be a must run, at least 2 of. 2-cost Sakamoto Shinuchi. Choose 1 Kenshin on your field. It gains 2k just flat until the end of the turn, giving him that double attack, and then you get to choose an action point to switch it to active. With a draw trigger, yeah, it doesn't even cost you an action point to play. This is a great card to have just like 2 of. In case you're not seeing those pieces and you're just 1k short constantly, you've got this to just boom, 2k, double attack. And then we've got this 2-cost Seiku Arai. When played, look at the top 7 cards of your deck, reveal up to 1 Sakamoto Shinuchi card among them, add it to your hand, place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. Draw trigger, 2k BP. You know, not required by any means, but if you find the room to squeeze them in just so you can kind of get to those a little faster, that might be a little helpful. But there is a lot of different ways to help Kenshin get up to 2k. So I don't know if it's, you know, we're so desperate to get this card so fast that we're running this guy to search for it. But you never know, just a couple might not hurt if you find the room. And yeah, that is pretty much every card that we've got for the Kenshin and Seijuro deck. I really gotta watch this anime, because the more I dive into these cards and the sets, the more I'm just curious about why they're doing this. Who is this person? Why? What is this combo? What are they doing? What does this mean? I'm gonna start watching it. I'm just gonna give in. I've got a list of anime to get to, but I might just have to make this priority. The remake does look a little shorter now that I looked at the full episode list, so we'll see what happens. Let me know which one you think I should watch. Remake, sub, dub, let me know what the best version is. So yeah, diving into the Aoshi deck here, this is our 4-cost raid that pretty much sums up, for the most part, what this whole deck is trying to do and what it does. So he has a when played, this character gains 1k till the end of the turn, making him a 5k, and that is actually pretty important. We'll touch on that a little later. Active main, play the base card of this raided character set to active on your field, leaving him active and stuff, just he doesn't have raid anymore. It gains this character cannot attack, and if this character is active at the end of your attack phase, sideline it until the end of the turn. And yeah, so as you're going to see with this deck, we're basically taking advantage of putting these cards out that can't attack, that are going to die at the end of the turn, but we're hopefully going to rest them with effects to do stuff, keeping them alive. We're going to raid on top of them, basically putting out free raid bodies. And then on top of all of that, I believe our special, or one of them, is going to allow you to get double attacks in. So yeah, as you'll see with this deck, it's got a really unique playstyle, but can definitely play out some really cool plays. So yeah, as you'll see here, a really good example, this 4-cost Aoshi card. When played, you can actually switch to resting one other active Oni Waban group affinity card on your front line. If you do, switch this character to active with the draw trigger 4k. So what you can essentially do is use this character's active main, put the, let's just call it a clone or whatever, to the side that's going to be sidelined at the end of the turn if it's active. As long as you rest it with this card's ability, now he's active, not going to die, and that other character's rested, and he will not die at the end of your attack phase. Great little like playstyle you can do to get like free bodies out for less action points. And then we do have this other 4-cost raid Aoshi card that's going to be great to have. This is a starter deck exclusive, by the way, these 2 cards here. So just keep in mind you get 1 per starter deck, and that's the only way to get this raid card. But yeah, having 2 different raid options, essentially 8 raid Aoshis, and you're always going to have raid targets that you hopefully play out for free, less action points. It's going to be great to take advantage of that. So yeah, 4-cost Aoshi, he's a raid, nullify impact, always can come in clutch. When played, look at the top 3 cards of your deck, reveal up to 1 Oni Waban group card or event card with Kaiten Kenbo, basically either of your specials. There's 2 options in its card name, and add it to your hand. Place the remaining on the bottom of your deck. No trash required. So searching out basically any character essentially is great, but also being able to search out your specials, fantastic. This raid looks great. And once again, playing out raids on top of these bodies that are just going to die anyways that we played for free, so good, because now this card's not going to die. If you don't know, when you raid on top of a character, any previous effects placed onto that character are all gone. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Really good to know. And then we do actually have 3 different Aoshi cards here that we're going to be able to take advantage of. So lots of raid targets, which are going to come in clutch. With one of the best ones right here, our color trigger, 2-cost Aoshi. And as you're going to see with this deck, we have a lot of options to play out of the sideline. So this effect is great. When played, if this character is played with one of your character or event abilities, draw a card. So obviously we might have some options to play him from hand with character abilities and stuff. But there's a few cards that play cards from your sideline. So getting a free card that was in your sideline initially, that's now going to allow you to draw as well. Such a good little combination. He's your color trigger, 2500 BP. Definitely a nice little combo you can get off with this card. And on top of that, the Aoshi 4-cost here, his active main does say play the base rated card of this rated character set to active on your field. So when played effects will apply when you use that. Keep that in mind. So that will count for this guy. Very big. And then we have a 1-cost Aoshi card during your turn. This character gains 1k BP, making him a 3k. No trigger, but the more raid targets, the better, honestly. You might not have to go like 4 of this guy, but you honestly might just to have more targets. That's the whole goal. Just spam out Aoshi cards. And then 0-cost, when played, draw a card, trash a card, active trigger, 1500 BP. This is actually going to be a really nice card. Oh, and shout out to them for not making this an add to hand so that he can go to sideline and we play him for free. But yeah, this is going to be a sick card because, watch, this will be a good segue into... But yeah, he's a nice segue into this 2-cost card here. Kind of an interesting play style here, but you could definitely do it and it might benefit you. So, in general, though, this is going to be a great card. 2-cost movement of flowing water. So you get to play 1 Aoshi card with 2 or less required energy and 1 AP from your hand or sideline set to active onto your field. And of course, that character is going to gain the theme this character can attack, and it's going to get sidelined at the end of your attack phase if it's still active. And then until the end of the turn. And then on top of all that, if you played a card from your hand, draw a card with the active trigger, which makes the event more runnable. But the reason I kind of bring it up in that segue is because you can actually use play that card with this effect from your hand, now you're getting a draw and then draw trash. So, you know, just more draw power, the better. The more little effects you can stack on top of each other, the better. So just keep that in mind. There's some really nice little combinations you can get off. Or same with the color trigger too. If you play him with this ability, because it just has to be a 2 or less, now you're getting a double draw power if he's from your hand. So, you know, there's benefits to playing this from your hand for sure. But on top of all of that, just having your sideline as an option can be so big, especially in this game. And then we have another card here that can play from your sideline, 3-cost Hanya, I want to say. Active main, place 1 card from your hand to sideline. Once per turn, this card gains 1k, making him a 4k if you want to attack with him. But when sidelined, you can actually place 1 card from your hand into your sideline. If you do, play up to 1 blue Aoshi card with 2 or less required energy from your sideline, set to resting onto your field. He's a double energy generator, no trigger. I don't know if this guy's like a 4 of necessarily, but just having a couple of this guy so that when he does get sidelined, you're replacing him with a body to raid on top of later potentially. Again, the more free bodies we can cheat out for free raids, the less action points we have to spend and stuff, the better. The more this deck is going to flow, no question. Before we get too far ahead, we have this really cool looking 4-cost Seijuro. During your turn, if he's on the front line, if an Aoshi card leaves your field due to an opponent's ability, you may sideline this active character instead. Draw trigger, 4k BP. So yeah, basically he can... yeah, you can get rid of this guy instead of an Aoshi. And that can be really good for turns where maybe you use this guy's raid and you don't really have a situation where you want to use the active main. You want to keep the card underneath him until next turn. Obviously, you don't want him to get sidelined because then you'll lose both cards. So that would be a great time for him to come into play and sort of take the hit instead. Again, don't know if he's going to be like a 4 of with how many other cards we're trying to squeeze into this, but having 2 of this guy could be a lifesaver. And then we've actually got 2 different specials that you can choose from for this deck. And I personally think a 2-2, maybe like a 3-1 split would work great. I don't know if you want to go 4 of for either for how this deck's trying to play. But we've got 4 cost. I guess we'll start with this one. 4 cost Kaiten Kenbu. Choose 1 character with 3k or less on your opponent's front line, sideline it. For each Aoshi card on your field, add 1k to the BP range of the character you may choose with this ability. So you can sideline at 5k as long as you've got 2 Aoshis essentially. But yeah, while removal is fantastic, I do think that this special is going to play a little bit better into what the deck's doing and just kind of take advantage of the effects a little bit as well. But again, having like a split on these is definitely going to be a good way to go. 4 cost, Kaiten Kenbu, 6 successions. Choose 1 Aoshi card on your field. It loses 1000 BP and gains at the end of this character's attack. You may switch 1 active Aoshi card on your field to resting. If you do, switch this character to active till the end of the turn. If it's in your life, it'll still act as a special and remove something. But yeah, so that's sort of where this raid 1k comes into play. If we can get this 1k off, make him a 5k, and then activate that, now he's just back down again to a 4k. Yeah, I don't know if reducing a 4 down to a 3k with this is ever going to be the best way to do it, but yeah, definitely not a bad card to have to get some extra attacks in. And on top of that, another way to sort of negate that 1k effect reduce is this really nice 2-cost Misao. When played, choose one of the following. This character can either be a double energy generator till the end of the turn, or you can actually buff one of your characters by 1k till the end of the turn. On top of that, this character also has an active main switch to resting to do another 1k buff, but then you have to return her to your hand. Draw trigger, 2k BP, she's got the affinity, great card to splash into the deck, no question. And then we covered it earlier, but obviously this amazing card. And then 2-cost Misao, I don't really know if this card is necessary in this deck since our highest cost is like a 4. But if this character is active, you are generating 2, no triggers, so yeah, I wouldn't stress too much about that. This card though, this looks like a great few to have, maybe even 4 of. For 0-cost Misao, Nullify Impact, Draw Trigger, 1500 BP. I swear the Nullify Impact zeros never have triggers, so nice little combo to see there. We also have a 1-cost Beshimi. When played, look at the top 3 cards of your deck, reveal up to 1 Megumi or Oniwaban group affinity among them, add it to your hand, place the remaining on the bottom, trash a card if you took one. And then we've got 0-cost Hyotoko. When sidelined, if Aoshi is on your field, draw a card. No trigger, but a 2k BP. And then just some other cards that we didn't touch on. We've got this 3-cost Nenji. This is just going to be our card that is reduced to 2 cost if we're up against a purple or a red deck. 3k BP, no trigger. double energy generator. Again, these cards aren't terrible to throw in if you're going into rare battles. Honestly, actually, this would be great for the 7-cost deck in a rare battle. Since you're trying to ramp as fast as possible, just slap like 2 of these in there, and odds are you're going up against red Kenshins at least 75% of the time, I'd say. So yeah, you can get this guy out as a 2-cost, almost guaranteed at the rare battles. Oh, and then this guy is going to be an amazing addition to the Aoshi deck. You might want to only put in like 2 or 3 because of the 2 action point, but I can see this guy cooking. So 3-cost Kanryu. When played, choose one of the following. You can choose a character with 2k or less on your opponent's front line and sideline it, or you can choose one Oni Waban group card on your field and sideline it, and if you do, you get to draw a card and choose a character with 4k or less on your opponent's front line and sideline it. With a draw trigger, 1k BP doesn't matter because he's a double energy generator, thank God. But yeah, being able to play this guy out as a 2 action point, get a draw and remove a 4k, there's probably going to be some fodder Oni Waban group cards that you want to get rid of. So yeah, I think this is going to be a nice little removal card to have for sure. And then we've just got some Megumi cards here, a 1-cost, when played, return a 1 to your hand, or this card, our generic double energy generator at a 1, but not a terrible card if you want to try to get up to that 7 a little quicker, but I don't think you really need it. 0-cost Megumi, our other double energy gen if we switch her to resting for the turn, but then at the end of the turn we have to sideline her. Again, I don't know if it's a super required card in what we've got for options for energy generation. And then the final 3-cost Proof as the strongest that you'll run with Aoshi. Remember, you want to run Will to Live with the Kenshin deck 100%. But yeah, guys, that is the entire blue set for Rurouni Kenshin. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are. Let me know what you're going to be doing, what you're going to be playing, what you think is going to be good. I personally think I got to do some more playtesting with Aoshi. I think this deck is going to be able to annoy some people and do a lot of cool shit. Yeah, as far as it being the best, I mean, I don't know. We'll have to see. But I definitely think it's going to take people by surprise and definitely pressure some people, no question. It'll put in some work. As far as this blue set, I think getting out the 7 shouldn't be too difficult. And with that said, double attacker, other characters we can push up as 4Ks, being able to re-get a special or a final. I think this deck has a lot of potential for sure. Out of the 2 blue decks, I think I'm going to be investing into this one a little bit more, but I'm going to definitely be keeping my eye on this Aoshi deck. It can play into some really, really cool turns that might outspeed your opponent to some degree. But yeah, that's essentially it, boys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I appreciate you guys watching, getting this far, supporting the breakdowns, all that good stuff. Yeah. Should have the other red set breakdown up as well as the Hunter x Hunter Volume 2 sets going up. So definitely check those out. And yeah, much love for watching, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.